what's the picture that you think is coming through now?
Actually, I've got a flash of results from West Tyrone, would you believe?
Oh, really? OK, well, bring it to us now if it's come up on your screen.
Well, what I'm getting here is that Orla Begley has held the seat, not very surprisingly.
No, not surprising at all there. Very safe Sinn Féin seat.
But a massive improvement in the Alliance Party vote, up from 2.3% to almost 10%.
And obviously it was a truism previously that they were a greater Belfast party, so seeing them actually gathering votes in the likes of West Tyrone is a bit of a new development.
They're still in fourth place, but they're ahead of the Ulster Unionist Party, which, let's not forget, held that seat at Westminster.
We just saw pictures there of Paul Maskey, who's been returned as the Sinn Féin MP for West Belfast, and that's certainly not a surprise to anybody. Mike, I just wonder how uncomfortable you are sitting listening to this conversation. You outlined your rationale for being happy at the election of Colm Eastwood, if that's what happens, and happy about the election of Claire Hanna, if that's what happens.
Elements of both within it.
I just want to pause 1 second, hold that thought. Francie Malloy, they're being embraced by party supporters, party workers, mid-Ulster. I think he's been formally returned at this stage. He's been an MP, of course, since 2013. So his declaration has taken place and he is home safely as the MP. North Belfast, we gather, is imminent. Let's cross over to North Belfast where the declaration is taking place. Let's take it live.
425, 49425. The valid vote was 49,037, 49037. Invalid votes 388, 388. Percentage turnout was 68.43%. I, Stephen McCrory, as the Deputy Returning Officer for the Belfast North constituency, hereby declare that at the election the number of votes for each candidate was as follows. Dodds Nigel, Democratic Unionist Party, DUP, 21,135, 21135. Finucane John, Sinn Féin, 23,078. That's 23078. McAllister Nuala, Alliance Party, 4,824, 4824. I declare that John Finucane is returned to serve in Parliament for the Belfast North constituency. Thank you.
So, John Finucane celebrating his victory there in North Belfast. He's defeated the DUP incumbent, Nigel Dodds, who is, of course, the party's deputy leader and leader at Westminster, by, I make that a majority of 1,940 votes. Am I right? Yes?
Yeah.
Almost 2,000. And we'd heard he was going to do it by over 1,000. He did it by significantly more than that. John, just a quick thought on that margin and the significance of what has just happened?
A bigger margin than I expected. It was always going to be a close call. The bookmakers couldn't split it. They kept changing their minds over it. Devastating blow to the DUP. Nigel Dodds represented one of the, if not the biggest brain within the party, a formidable speaker at Westminster. Very, very difficult to replace. And obviously the question begged now.
John Finucane speaking. Let's hear what he has to say.
This is exceptionally surreal and momentous for me personally, but I think this is a huge day, a huge night for North Belfast. I want to start off by paying thanks to all of those who supported me. I want to start off with everybody who's in front of me, those who canvassed, those who supported me over the past 6 weeks in what was a very long but a very positive campaign. I want to pay particular tribute as well to my family, to my children, but also my mother. I know this means a lot for her personally, especially in a year when I was very fortunate to be installed as mayor of this city. And I will hopefully ask your forgiveness for the personal indulgence that on a night like tonight, when it is all still very surreal, that I can't help but think of my father and where we have come from, not just as a family, but as a society as well. I want to thank each and every person who came out to vote for me today in North Belfast. And I also want to acknowledge here tonight that there were those who stretched themselves, and I know that this election was an election that transcended party politics, and I know that I was very much the beneficiary of that today. And I think the reason for that is that this election was fought very much on a very positive campaign from our party from the get-go. North Belfast, as I said coming into the centre tonight, and I hope Paul Maskey forgives me, North Belfast is easily the best part of Belfast. I was born there, I raised my kids there, I live there now. I'm very, very proud to be from North Belfast, and I think that this election is about the future of North Belfast. We saw the threat of Brexit and what that meant for the people of Belfast. We saw the threat to our economy, the threat to our children's futures, and I think that message, that Remain voice that was heard in 2016 was amplified beyond recognition again tonight. I said to those on the doors for the past 6 weeks that this election had the potential to be a voice that would be heard loud and clear, not just in North Belfast, but in Belfast, in Ireland and in Europe, and indeed right across the world. And I think that message has been heard very loudly here tonight. We have taken the opportunity to say once again, without any equivocation, North Belfast rejects Brexit. North Belfast is a Remain constituency. North Belfast wants a future as part of the European Union, and I think that is hugely significant. I also want to pay tribute to the fact that, or acknowledge the fact that there are many other issues in North Belfast that I want to work and help towards solving with so many other different people in North Belfast. This week has shown us once again, sadly, that we have a mental health crisis. We are a constituency that suffers unfairly from suicide. We have a housing crisis, and we have areas of high economic and social deprivation. As an MP, I pledge to you all tonight, without any fear of contradiction, that I will work for every single person in this constituency, whether you voted for me today or not. I pledge to do my best for North Belfast, because I will finish as I started. It is the best part of Belfast, and we have a very exciting future ahead. Thank you very much, everybody who voted for me. Go to Amelia Mailwood.
So, significant applause there for John Finucane making his speech. Presumably we'll hear from Nigel Dodds, who's just lost his North Belfast seat any moment. His majority in 2017 of 2,081, now Sinn Féin majority of 1,940. Here's Mr. Dodds. That's Chris Hazard, Sinn Féin's recently declared MP in South Down. Let's hear what he had to say.
In South Down, the people, obviously in the light of the Brexit catastrophe, have stood up and put the interests of the people of South Down and in Ireland to our fore. So again, I want to thank all of the people in South Down who voted for me. I want to congratulate all those candidates who also stood in the race. It's difficult, especially in the winter time. Fair play to everybody who put their name forward. And most especially everybody in the Sinn Féin team who come out. It's a difficult slog in a winter election to come out and work so hard. This victory is for all of you. Go Amelia Mailwood.
See how many seats we have. Well, we know we've got a recount in Fermanagh, South Tyrone, and I think once we get confirmation from Newry and Armagh, that'll be the 17 that we're probably going to get on this particular programme, it has to be said, because I don't think we're going to stay here for Fermanagh, South Tyrone. We're going to be thrown out by breakfast. You can if you like. No. I've got my second wind at this stage. I think I'm on about my 14th wind at this point. Left. We have 17 of the 18 Northern Ireland constituencies declared. We know there is a recount in Fermanagh, South Tyrone, because things were very tight there between Sinn Féin and the Ulster Unionist Party. We'll hear from our correspondent, Julian Fowler, in due course, and we'll get the latest from him in a moment or two. But let's hear now from some successful candidates we just haven't had a chance to hear from earlier in the evening. West Tyrone, Mid Ulster, East London, Derry and Newry and Armagh. All of these people successful, all of them telling us now why they think they did so well. Let's hear what they've had to say.
Well, we stood in the platform that we would stand up against Brexit, that we would reject Tory austerity, which people are feeling on the ground today in terms of the health service, and that we put forward the case for a new and agreed Ireland. We asked the electorate to come out, and we've seen from the weeks leading up to this election that they were very much engaged in terms of Brexit. This constituency in West Tyrone is a border constituency, and we're going to feel implications in terms of Brexit and the dire consequences that it's going to bring to the people living here.
Brexit has been rejected by the voters of Mid Ulster on a number of occasions, right across the north. Brexit has wrecked the Westminster politics and will wreck the Union. With a clear majority in Westminster, the Tories will not give a thought for the import to the north of Ireland and what Brexit will actually do to it. But with Irish unity, we can be part of the European Union in the future. So we return to the work of Mid-Ulster of contingency representation, but also delivering unity to the Irish people.
Nuairn Armagh has spoken. Brexit has been rejected. The Remain parties are in the ascendancy. Brexit, as far as we are concerned, is a non-runner. And as far as I'm concerned, I will work very, very hard to ensure that the people of Nuairn Armagh constituency have a bright and prosperous future, and indeed all the people on this island. Unity is no longer an aspiration, it is now a project.
So there you go, 4 success.